Siberia, the eastern expanse of Russia, is a vast land stretching from the Ural Mountains all the way to the Pacific Ocean. How vast? Siberia alone covers roughly 13.1 million square kilometers, larger than the entire United States and Europe combined. And yet, what do we really know about this land? For most of the world, it's simply the coldest place on Earth. A symbol of endless forests and frozen emptiness. And yes, those things exist. But in truth, Siberia is far more than that. It is a continent within a country. Lakes so deep they hold a fifth of the planet's fresh water. Snow-capped mountains, alpine meadows, smoking volcanoes, hissing geysers. Remote islands surrounded by the raging waves of the Pacific. And glaciers that glitter under the sun. Despite the harsh conditions, people still call this place home. Indigenous hunters, nomads moving with their reindeer. And entire cities, concrete and glass, built on permafrost. Kamchatka. A land so remote, it feels almost mythical. Tucked at the far edge of Russia, closer to Alaska than to Moscow, this peninsula is one of the last truly wild frontiers on Earth. Here, the Earth never sleeps. More than 300 volcanoes rise from Kamchatka's skin, 29 of them still active, rumbling beneath forests, glaciers, and endless tundra. Ash clouds drift like ghosts across the sky. Boiling rivers carve deep scars through the land. And geysers erupt from the ground with the roar of something ancient waking up. It is a place shaped by fire and ruled by ice. Brown bears roam through fields of tall grass, moving with a calm authority that reminds you, humans are only visitors here. Salmon fight their way upstream by the millions, painting the rivers with crimson. And above it all, snow-capped giants like Klyachevsky Sopka and Mutnovsky rise like massive towers at the end of the world. Few places on Earth feel as untouched, as raw, or as alive as Kamchatka. Even getting here is a journey, across oceans, over mountains, into a wilderness where roads end and nature begins. Helicopters skim over volcanic calderas. Trekkers descend into steaming valleys. And everywhere, the landscape pulses with the memory of the planet's fiery birth. Kamchatka is not just a destination. It is an experience. A reminder of what Earth looked like before cities, before roads, before maps had borders. This is Siberia's wild heart, burning, breathing, and endlessly beautiful. South of Kamchatka's flaming core lies a place so unreal it feels borrowed from another planet, Mutnovsky volcano. It isn't the tallest giant on the peninsula, but height means nothing here. What matters is the life pulsing beneath your feet. The ground wheezes with heat. Steam shoots out of narrow cracks like the earth is trying to speak. Sulfur clouds drift across the valley, turning the air into a shimmering, yellow haze. Cold rivers slice through black volcanic stone still warm, almost alive, as if yesterday's lava never fully cooled. Mutnovsky is one of Kamchatka's most restless volcanoes, and it shows. Inside its crater, the world becomes louder, stranger, more primitive. Boiling mud pits bubble and pop like something is stirring below. Geysers erupt without warning. Fumaroles roar like engines hidden under the snow, shaking the ground with their breath. And when Mutnovsky decides to awaken, ash plumes blast nearly 2 kilometers into the sky, turning bright white glaciers into charcoal in minutes. It's ice and fire locked in a constant battle, dramatic, dangerous, and absolutely priceless for science. Here, geologists decode how the planet evolves, how continents shift, how the crust breathes. And just a short distance away, geothermal stations quietly tap into all this volcanic fury to light up nearby towns, proof that even Kamchatka's wildest power can become life-giving. But beyond these burning valleys, another world waits, a place shaped not by fire, but by memories carved deep into the land, and by stories the earth has not yet revealed. Spreading across more than 5 million square kilometers, nearly 2 million square miles, the Siberian taiga is not just a forest. It's the largest living wilderness on Earth. From the Ural Mountains to the edge of the Pacific, it forms a rolling ocean of green so vast, so untouched, it helps shape the planet's climate itself. This isn't just land, it's a world of extremes. Winters drop below -60 to -76 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing everything but the toughest life. Summers flash by in weeks. Yet the trees endure, endless towers of larch, pine, and birch, standing like an army that has survived 1,000 winters. Under their shadows, the wild rules. Brown bears wander ancient paths, Lynxes move like ghosts. Wolves roam in packs beneath a canopy so tall it feels like a roof built by nature. Here, rivers twist through remote valleys where almost no human has ever walked. Some flow for hundreds of kilometers before anyone even knows they exist. For outsiders, the taiga was once a place of exile, where people went to vanish into silence. But for the Evenki, the Nenets, and other indigenous peoples, this is home. They follow the stars like compasses, read footprints like written stories, and live in a balance modern life has long forgotten. The taiga humbles you. It swallows roads, erases tracks, and reminds you that nature is still far bigger than us. And just when you think this endless forest will never end, the trees suddenly fall away, revealing something no one expects. A desert, hidden deep inside Siberia. Yes, a desert in Siberia. Hidden deep within the taiga, surrounded by snow-dusted peaks, lies the Chara Sands, a pocket of golden dunes stretching nearly 10 kilometers, or about 6 miles, across the frozen north. This landscape was shaped thousands of years ago, during the last ice age. Advancing glaciers crushed mountains into powder, then retreated, leaving the sand behind. The wind did the rest, patiently sculpting every ridge, every curve. The result feels impossible. Soft dunes roll like ocean waves, rising beneath mountains locked in ice. In summer, the sand scorches under the sun. In winter, it freezes solid enough to crack beneath your boots. This is a place that refuses to make sense, where heat and frost exist side by side, and logic quietly gives up. Almost no one reaches it. But from space, satellites catch the dunes' glowing gold, set against a sea of dark green forest. It looks like a mirage, except it never disappears. Chara Sands is a mistake nature never fixed, a beautiful accident preserved in time. And as the dunes slowly dissolve back into forest, the land changes again. This time, it rises. Far to the west, near the city of Krasnoyarsk, stone towers pierce the sky. Shaped by wind, frost, and centuries of erosion, they stand like living monuments. Here begins Stolby Nature Reserve, a place where rock feels alive, and the earth itself seems to breathe. Its name means pillars, and the land delivers exactly that. Hundreds of towering granite monoliths rise straight out of the forest, some stretching over 100 meters, nearly 330 feet, into the sky. They don't just stand there, they command the landscape. These giants were born nearly 450 million years ago, when molten magma cooled deep beneath the surface, slowly forcing its way upward through layers of stone. Time finished the work. Wind, rain, frost, carving the rock into walls, arches, and razor-edged towers that feel almost intentional. For generations, locals have climbed these pillars, forming a culture found nowhere else, the Stolists. Climbers who scale the stone barefoot, without ropes, driven not by records, but by freedom. During the Soviet era, these climbs became something more. A quiet rebellion. A way to escape control, to find silence, and to breathe above the world below. Every pillar here has a name. Every name carries a story, a legend passed from climber to climber. And as the granite fades into mist, the journey presses onward, deeper into Siberia's mountain heart. Where the air sharpens, the cold deepens, and the wilderness grows even more mysterious. In the heart of southern Siberia, clouds drift so low they brush against granite walls. This is the Ergaki Mountains, a land shaped by symmetry, silence, and stone. Here, peaks rise like natural cathedrals. Glacial lakes glow turquoise beneath drifting mist. And the quiet feels alive, as if the mountains themselves are listening. Locals sometimes call it Siberia's Yosemite, though no comparison fully fits. There are few places on Earth that look, or feel, like this. At its center stands Parabola Peak, a perfect granite arc splitting into two soaring towers. It's a geological coincidence, yet it looks designed, carved with intention rather than chance. Scattered across the range are more than 600 alpine lakes, each born from retreating glaciers thousands of years ago. Every one reflects a different sky. Every one holds a different silence. For explorers, Ergaki is both paradise and test. Weather shifts without warning. Fog can pour into valleys and erase the landscape in minutes. But that uncertainty is the magic. No roads. No engines. No human echo. Only wind moving through stone. Only rock shaped by time. And beyond these peaks, the land rises again, stretching towards something older, colder, and far more untamed, waiting deep within the Siberian frontier. The Sayan Mountains form one of Siberia's great natural frontiers. A vast chain stretching nearly 1,000 kilometers, separating Russia from Mongolia. They are older than the Himalayas. Their ridges were carved by ice, wind, and water long before humans ever set foot on this land. This is a place built on contrasts. Buddhist temples stand beside ancient shamanic shrines. Glaciers loom above valleys where steaming hot springs rise from the earth. Powerful rivers cut through deep gorges, carrying life from the mountains down into the plains below. The Sayans feel alive. Legends say the mountains breathe, and when the wind howls through the valleys, it's easy to believe. High on the slopes, snow leopards move unseen across stone and snow. Below, nomads still travel these passes, following routes older than recorded history. To geologists, the Sayans are known as growing mountains. Here, the Earth's crust still lifts upward. A slow reminder that nothing in nature is truly still, not even stone. And as these ancient ridges finally fall away, the land opens into something vast, timeless, and impossibly blue, waiting just beyond the mountains. Nothing truly prepares you for Lake Baikal, the deepest, clearest, and oldest lake on Earth. It stretches nearly 636 kilometers, about 400 miles, and plunges 1,642 meters, over 5,300 feet, into the Earth. Within its depths lies nearly 1/5 of the planet's unfrozen freshwater. But numbers can't explain what Baikal feels like. In winter, the surface freezes so thick that trucks drive across it. Yet the ice is crystal clear, revealing frozen air bubbles and deep cracks that streak beneath your feet like lightning trapped in glass. In summer, the water transforms. A pure sapphire blue. So clear you can see more than 40 meters, 130 feet, straight down into silence. Scientists believe Baikal is over 25 million years old, a living archive of Earth's geological history. Its life is just as rare. More than 2,500 species survive here, nearly 2/3 found nowhere else, including the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on the planet. For the Buryat people, this isn't just a lake. It's a sacred sea. A living spirit. They say Baikal breathes. And when the ice cracks, it's the earth itself speaking. But as you leave its quiet shores, the blue fades into stone. And the land rises once more, where Siberia begins to bend into legend. They call it the Little Baikal. But that name barely hints at what it really is. Hidden deep within the Altai Mountains, Teletskoye Lake is one of Siberia's purest and most breathtaking waters. It stretches nearly 80 kilometers, about 50 miles, between steep, forested ridges, fed by more than 70 mountain rivers and streams. Its depths plunge to 325 meters, over 1,000 feet, making it one of the deepest lakes in Russia. From above, it looks like a perfect mirror, long, narrow, and impossibly clear. Locals say you can drink straight from the lake, and that the taste changes after a storm. Here, the water feels alive. Dense taiga wraps the shoreline, untouched and ancient. At dawn, mist lifts slowly from the surface. Far away, waterfalls spill down glowing cliffs, catching the last light of sunset. Legends speak of Teletskoye as a sleeping spirit, its waters watched over and protected. For many, this lake is sacred. But beneath its calm surface, motion never stops. The rivers born here flow outward, carrying life from the Altai, feeding one of Siberia's great waterways, and pulling the journey onward. Born from the glaciers of Mount Beluka, the highest peak in Siberia, the Katun River is the lifeblood of the Altai. Its name means queen in the local Turkic languages. And once you see it, the title feels earned. The Katun begins as a fragile ribbon of melting ice. Downstream, it turns a striking turquoise as it slips through wide valleys. Then it tightens, accelerates, and thunders through narrow canyons, before joining the Biya River to form the Ob, one of the longest river systems on Earth. Over its 688 kilometers, about 427 miles, the Katun never stays the same. Glass-smooth pools give way to violent rapids without warning. One moment calm, the next, unstoppable. For rafters and photographers, it's a challenge and a dream. But for the Altai people, it is something far deeper. The Katun is sacred. A living presence that links the mountains to the plains. They say, if you listen closely, the river speaks. And following its voice leads you deeper into the Altai. To a land of impossible colors, ancient stories, and legend woven into the flow of water itself. Where Russia, Mongolia, China, and Kazakhstan quietly meet, the land begins to rise. This is the Altai Mountains, one of the oldest and most sacred ranges in Asia. These peaks were standing long before borders existed. Before maps. Before history had a name. Glaciers crown the summits. Alpine meadows spread below them like painted carpets. Rivers are born here, clear, cold, and restless, carving paths toward distant oceans. The Altai feels balanced, almost deliberate. Snow-softened ridges flow into green valleys. Stone gives way to grass. Silence stretches wide, but never empty. For thousands of years, nomads have crossed these passes, guided by seasons rather than roads. Petroglyphs carved into stone whisper stories older than writing. Ancient burial mounds rise from the steppe, quiet reminders of civilizations long gone. To many cultures, the Altai is more than landscape. It is a spiritual center, where earth, sky, and water align. Shamans believe the mountains listen, that every wind carries memory. Weather shifts without warning. Sun turns to snow. Clouds swallow peaks in minutes. But the Altai resists control. Nothing here is rushed. Nothing stands still. And as the mountains slowly begin to lower, the wild gives way to river plains. Roads appear, lights flicker on. Until the journey reaches Siberia's modern heart. Novosibirsk. The largest city in Siberia, its modern heartbeat. It didn't grow slowly. It appeared almost overnight, born in 1893 beside the Ob River, where the Trans-Siberian Railway needed a crossing. Steel tracks came first. The city followed. Today, more than 1 million people live here, under wide skies and long winters that still remind you where you are. The Ob River cuts through the city, frozen and silent in winter, flowing like liquid silver in summer, tying Novosibirsk to the wild lands beyond. But this isn't only a city of industry. It's a city of ideas. In Akademgorodok, forests surround laboratories, and scientists chase questions as vast as the landscape itself. Knowledge is the city's quiet strength. At night, bridges glow. Theaters light up. Life moves forward, steady and unbreakable. Novosibirsk proves that Siberia is more than empty space. Its resilience. Its ambition. And as the city lights fall behind, the journey heads east again. Toward a river older than memory. And stone towers rising from its banks. The Lena Pillars. One of Siberia's most striking natural monuments. For hundreds of kilometers, stone towers stand shoulder to shoulder, climbing more than 100 meters above the water. They look carved by intention, but their story is older than imagination. These pillars were born over 500 million years ago, when this land lay beneath an ancient sea. Layer by layer, sediment hardened into rock. Time, frost, and wind did the rest, sculpting the stone into walls, spires, and silhouettes that change with every angle of light. At sunrise, the cliffs glow gold. By evening, they turn deep red, then fade into shadow. The river below moves silently, reflecting the pillars like a memory frozen in motion. For the Yakut people, this place is sacred. They believe the pillars are guardians, spirits turned to stone, watching over the river and the land around it. There are no cities here. No noise. Only wind, water, and the weight of time pressing softly against the cliffs. Standing here feels like stepping outside of history itself. But as the Lena River bends and the stone giants fall away, the journey turns south. From silence to motion. From ancient rock to snow-covered slopes. This is Sheregesh, Siberia's winter playground, carved into the mountains of the Shoria region. For most of the year, these slopes stand quiet beneath dark taiga forests. But when winter arrives, everything changes. Snow falls thick and dry, the kind skiers call powder. It settles deep, softening the mountains, transforming them into flowing white lines that seem made to be written. Chairlifts rise through frost-covered trees. Trails cut across ridges. And beneath the cold sky, laughter and movement replace silence. Sheregesh isn't just about speed. It's about contrast. One moment, you're gliding through untouched snow. The next, you're standing still, watching the forest breathe beneath a sky washed clean by cold. When the season ends, the crowds fade. The mountains return to quiet. Taiga reclaims the slopes. Sheregesh reminds you that Siberia isn't frozen in one identity. It can be wild, and playful, ancient, and alive. And as the last tracks disappear into the trees, the journey presses onward. Away from lifts and lights. Toward jagged ridges and untamed heights. This is the Kodar Mountains, one of the wildest and least traveled ranges in Russia. Here, jagged peaks rise abruptly from the taiga, their slopes scarred by ice and time. Glaciers cling to the shadows. Snow lingers even when summer tries to settle in. The Kodar feel raw, untamed, unforgiving. Alpine tundra replaces forest at higher elevations. Wind cuts through narrow passes. And silence presses in, broken only by falling water and distant rock. This is one of the few places in Siberia where true alpine glaciers still survive. They feed icy rivers that carve deep valleys and vanish into the wilderness. For those who reach it, the Kodar offers no comfort, only truth. Weather shifts without warning. Paths disappear. The mountains demand respect. Yet in this harshness lies beauty. Crystal lakes reflect serrated ridgelines. Wildflowers bloom briefly, defiantly, between stone and snow. The Kodar Mountains feel like the edge of the map. A reminder that there are still places shaped only by nature's rules. And as these rugged peaks begin to fade into the distance, another force carries the journey forward, not of stone or ice, but of steel. A line stretching across a continent. The Trans-Siberian Railway. Stretching across 9,289 kilometers, nearly 5,800 miles, the Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest train route on Earth. It runs from Moscow to the Pacific Ocean, crossing 7 time zones and binding 2 continents together with a single line of steel. When construction began in 1891, under Tsar Alexander III, the idea felt almost impossible, to unite a land this vast, this remote, into one. The cost was enormous. Tens of thousands of workers pushed through mountains, swamps, and frozen permafrost. They carved tracks across empty wilderness, battling cold, isolation, and time itself. For many, the railway became a one-way journey. Countless lives were lost before the final rails were laid in 1916. Today, the train still rolls. It takes nearly a week to cross Siberia end to end, past endless forests, frozen rivers, and distant villages where clocks seem to move slower. From the window, the land stretches without interruption, horizon after horizon, mile after mile. For travelers, this isn't just transportation. It's a passage. A pilgrimage across a world so vast it feels separate from the rest of Earth. And at the journey's end, the rails finally stop. Where steel meets salt water. And the continent at last touches the sea. At the edge of the Pacific Ocean, where Siberia finally runs out of land, stands Vladivostok. Russia's easternmost city, and the final stop of the Trans-Siberian Railway. Its name means, "Rule the East," a bold statement of ambition when it was founded in 1860 as a naval fortress. From the beginning, this city was meant to face outward, toward the sea. Here, Europe and Asia quietly blend. Steep hills rise from Golden Horn Bay, crowned by the sweeping arc of the Rusky Bridge, one of the longest cable-stayed bridges on Earth. Below, ships crowd the harbor, their lights shimmering as Pacific winds roll in from open water. For decades, Vladivostok was sealed off from the world. A closed city. No foreign visitors. No photographs. Only military secrecy. Today, it feels different. Open. Restless. Alive. Sushi bars stand beside Soviet monuments. Modern cafes overlook old naval docks. Cultures meet without borders. From the hilltops, the view stretches endlessly, city lights, dark water, and the horizon beyond. It's the perfect ending to Siberia's long journey. A land born in fire and ice. Ending not in silence, but in open sea. And as the waves break against the docks, one thing becomes clear. This isn't the end of the world. It's where it begins. And so, the journey across Siberia comes to an end. From the fire of Kamchatka to the salt air of Vladivostok. What once carried the weight of exile reveals itself as something far greater. A land shaped by resilience, by beauty, by endless surprise. Here, ice shelters life. Forests breathe silence. And the people who call this place home have learned to live where most would never dare. Siberia is more than a frontier on a map. It is a world of its own, vast beyond reason, raw beyond imagination. A place where the earth still feels unfinished. Still honest. Still alive. Most people know the name. Few ever see what lies beneath it. But those who do, never forget. Because Siberia doesn't just stay in your memory. It stays under your skin.